Good morning. Hi guys, it's Reem here with from Tula Deer, as well as Elizabeth. Okay,
Elizabeth. Good morning.
We're trying to do this whole like connecting on a Zoom calls, so it's like from screen to screen. So, anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We have a real awesome treat. The last couple of days since last week, both Elizabeth and I have received a couple really great messages, and we kind of thought about it. And with Elizabeth being at her 40-week mark, freaking exciting. Look how awesome. She's glowing today. It's beautiful. And she has baby Jude with her. So yeah, we were thinking and people were asking, how do we keep in mind and bear in mind empowering the mindset, your own mindset, when going through things in life, right? And that was a really, important discussion that both, Elizabeth and I had shared this morning in the last couple of days, especially bearing in mind that she's at the end of her, cycle of being pregnant, on the next transition and like stepping blocks of life and having her next, little boy, and how vital it is that her having the right mindset and empowering mindset during every single thing that adds up and leads up to her delivery, labor and delivery, is what's going to truly create and become the perfect birth for her and her little one, right? We were kind of talking about that. So we were just like, what do we need? What is really, how does being empowering your mind, where does that all come from? How is it all led together? What does it do for us as individuals, and how does it help us as we're going through things? So Elizabeth, tell us what's going on, how it's going the last, you're on your 40th week. Tell us a little bit about how empowering your mindset really has helped, in aiding, the process to you having your baby soon.
Well, I think, yes, I think that Reem and I were talking about how to keep a strong mind, right? It's not just like, it's not just empowering your decisions, it's how to keep a strong mind. So right now, I notice there's a big difference between my first pregnancy and this pregnancy, is that I'm much more clear on what I want. And I'm much more clear about who I keep around me to support me, right? Part of keeping an empowering mindset is to keep the people around that give you energy instead of the people that rob you of energy. So, if someone goes and says, oh my God, you need to get an epidural, birth is like horrible, I just kind of smile and nod. I mean, I don't yell at them, but that's not the energy that I want around. What I want around me is the energy of, this is amazing. This is a beautiful experience. You have this. And I've had some affirmations given to me by friends that, I've really kept there in my mind to focus on and to keep that energy good. And so I'm at the 40-week mark, and I'm just very clear that my body knows exactly what to do, that this baby was designed to work with my body, that this experience will be exactly what I want it to be, and staying mentally focused on that instead of all of the what ifs and the anxiety about what could happen. Because really, anxiety serves no purpose. It might keep you safe in life sometimes, have a little bit of purpose, but in general, it doesn't serve any purpose in life. So, Bream and I were kind of talking about that it's really important to create a sacred space for yourself, And, maybe you already have children, you're not in the same situation as me, but no matter where you are, keeping an empowering group of support around you is going to really benefit you. If you're making decisions for how to care for your children already or how to care for yourself, you don't want to be around people that are going to rob you of your energy, or of people that are going to put doubt or feed that anxiety. So I had a good friend one time tell me to be careful for the vampires, right? And she said the vampires are the people that suck the energy out of you. And I think we all know those people, right? They come around and you're just like, oh my God, get away from me. What are you doing? Don't be around those people. Be around people who lift you up. Find those people. There are people who are dying to contribute to you in life, dying to be great friends with you in life. Find those people and pull them in. Ask them for help.
Right.
And I think that this group has an amazing ability to be that for each other, just based on that we already share a very common commitment, our commitment to empowering ourselves and learning more about a holistic lifestyle. And so, energy is everything. It can really make or break you. So
Yeah.
you want to keep that good stuff going.
Right.
Anything you want to add to that, Reen?
Girl, you hit it. Like, from what you were just saying, like the importance of affirmations for yourself. They're there for a reason. It's not just, hocus pocus of, you wake up when you're in a bad mood and by saying something empowering, you're like, today is going to be a beautiful day. I'm so grateful for the ability to have woken up and be able to breathe and have my home and be able to, if you have a job or going to a job, or if you have a family going, being with your family, that you have all of those things. Because unfortunately, we do live in a day and age where there are people that don't have that. You know what I mean? And they don't necessarily have a job to work at. They don't have a family, that supports them or can love them. Or even there are some people in this world that don't even have a home, or a bed to have woken up from. And when we take the times when things are kind of being, like you said, kind of attacked or sabotaging us, and it's like, whoa, like that energy, because you just said it, like it's all about energy. Clearly something in your head is manifesting that negative energy to start whispering into you. And what you should feel empowered and be like, no, I control that energy force, and I'm going to shift it into a positive way, into making myself feel strong and feel like I'm blessed. I'm grateful for what I have. I am, what? You're 40 weeks pregnant and you have a little one. I'm sure right now you're exhausted. You're feeling a lot of, the aches and pains, the lower back pain. Your cervix is opening up. Your baby is dropping. He's positioning into the, the way that your body is made for him to be positioned in. All of those things, when you're able to say like, hey, I feel great though. I know that my body can do it. I know that when I'm going through a surge or a contraction, that you are powering your brain, because that's 80% of the delivery, dude. 80% of your delivery, labor and delivery, even life situations and how you overcome them or how you, handle them, that 20% is outside forces, or the way that you get impacted, or the way that you tend to like respond to it. But it's 80% up here where you can shift it and be like, I can take that positive or negative. I can make that a weakness or a strength. You know what I mean? And that's so neat that we all can do that. And like you said, that's the community that, we're a part of. Everyone that's joined, empowering women and families holistically, truly do believe in your heart of hearts that you have it in you. And then as a family, that's what you want to create. So we need to create that. And we need to remember those important, big pieces and how energy, if there is that vampire that's coming into your life, not only should you like be aware and be like, nah, I don't need to listen to that, but also personally self-evaluate yourself. Why are those things being brought into your realm of energy? Are you doubting something that's creating that like little whisper to start spicing through? Or, are you just like being challenged? And, God or the elements are just trying to like, hey, so you said that you really believe in this. Let's really see you at your best. Are you really a believer in that? Are you really going to empower yourself? Or are you going to, fall back and you let the people that are sucking everything out of you win? You know what I mean? And you dwindle away, because that's what happens. That's kind of like, I believe in that so much. I'm like, our energy is so important. A smile goes a long way in shifting your mindset, I don't know.
Well, I think too, so attitude is everything when you go into any situation. Your attitude is 99% of how the situation occurs for you. And gratitude is contagious. It's infectious for yourself. If you just wake up and think of what are 3 things that you're grateful for today, you'll start seeing other things too. And, I've been blessed with the opportunity to travel around the world. And one of the things that I've noticed is that some of the happiest people that I've met have the least in this life. There are families of 10 that are living in dirt huts and sleeping on the floor, and they are very happy. Why is that? Because they're focused on what their blessings are instead of what other people have that they don't have.
Right.
So, just my challenge to you guys is to wake up and look at what is something that you can genuinely be grateful for. And if you can start with just noticing one thing a day, it will start to cartwheel into other things, right? You'll start to notice more and more things. I'm 40 weeks pregnant. I have a 3-year-old, it's like, wow, what an amazing thing that I can go through this. Some women never have children.
Yeah.
Some women never have more than one children, more than one child, right? So what are the things that I can be grateful for and see as a blessing?
And write them down. Write them down too. That's powerful too. Physically writing every letter and word in your affirmations or in your positive. Like, you have an affirmation that you shared with me before the call that you're reading to yourself, right? During every contraction that you're going through. And did you write that down, or did you type it out, or did someone give that to you?
Someone gave it to me. I have it typed out, and I think today one of my lists of things is to write a little affirmation board, something that I can focus on. I can remember, when my sister was born, my mom had a focus board, right? And
a focus board,
right? Like pictures and supportive comments on there. But it's something. The more you see something, the more that it can come into your brain. So I have dry erase boards around my house that have the things that I want to give my attention to. Because if you're not clear what you want to give your attention to, the world will give you lots of things, and they might not necessarily be the best things.
Heck yeah.
Right?
Right.
So another thing that I was sharing with one of my friends, and she was telling me about it the other day. We were going skydiving, and she was really scared, right? And I told her that fear and excitement create the same body sensation. So what that means is that it's our mind that decides if we're scared or if we're excited about something. But the minute that your mind decides one or the other, that's the path that it's going to go down. So with this pregnancy, I've really been careful about putting any kind of labels on what's going on. When Reem was sharing about, you're going through aches and pains and this and that, I'm just noticing like, oh, okay, there's like this feeling in my back right now, or, oh, that was a contraction. The natural reaction is kind of for me to flinch and be like, ooh, what was that?
Yeah.
Right? But then it's like, oh, that was a contraction. This is what my body's doing. That's pretty cool, And so just that's another part of maintaining good energy, right? Is what label are you going to put on something? Are you just going to experience it for what it is, or are you going to label it positive or negative?
True.
That's going to determine where it goes from there.
True. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. I mean, you are in full control of everything that's in your life. When you wake up in the morning, you're in control of that. You're in control of opening your eyes. No one's like taking their hands and opening your eyelids. Like, you're in control of that. No one's going into your brain and being like, oh, Elizabeth, you're feeling a contraction. Hold up, like tense in. No, you're allowing your brain through, okay, yes, physically, a reaction that happens when someone's scared or someone feels pain, you bundle up, and you like tighten your body. But you're doing that reverse effect because you know that your body needs to do the opposite in order for the baby to come out. You know what I mean? Versus suppressing it and being like, no, I need to hold it in. I need to nurture it. I need my body to fix and heal everything. You are powerful in knowing like, hey, no, my body knows what it needs to do. Let your brain kind of control how your body is going to function and turn on the different components in our body, like do, by saying, okay, you're good to go. Because what is the whole piece of you having every contraction? The baby's trying to go through the canal, and there's a certain exact point in the bottom of you as you're like your cervix is dilating. There's a piece, like a certain area by your cervix that needs to be hit. It's kind of like a button. It's like a section, but it's not a button, but you know what I mean. Where the head's crown, the top of the head of the baby needs to be positioned and hit that. So that's why a lot of pregnancies or women, they're like, the doctors need to make sure that the baby's positioned in the right way. It needs to be faced up, not face down, that the feet, you know what I mean? There's a whole reason to it because our bodies can actually turn the baby around. It doesn't actually need anyone to necessarily do that for you. But if you're doing outside like effects, like if you're sitting a lot, if you're in the car a lot, you're not allowing your body to do those shifts that it naturally needs to do in order for you to be able to deliver the way that your body should deliver. Does that make sense? Like keeping that mindset of like, hey, I'm in control of certain things. So like by you being aware of the control, you have the ability to turn it on or off, positive or negative reaction whenever you want. And like, that's freaking badass. Like that we get to do that, like in addition to, everything else. So cool.
Well, and some of you guys watching might think, that's a pretty bold assertion to say that we wake up every day and we have a choice in what's going on and that we're in control of our lives. No one else, no one else is physically opening our eyes, but we might have circumstances around us that we feel like are beyond our control, right?
Yeah.
And what I'd like you guys to think about is that it really is developing a muscle in yourself. It might not be something that comes natural to you to think that we are in control of everything in our lives, but it's a muscle that you can develop. And the more that you develop that, the more strength that you'll have in life. So, I tell people, if you've ever seen a little kid learn how to like tie their shoes or do something that's new, and there was a time where things were very confronting for you, things that you do every day. The first time you drove a car, the first time you tied your shoes, the first time you learned to ride a bike, those were scary things for you because it was uncomfortable. It was something new. And then the more that you did it, the more comfortable you got with it. Like, I can tie my shoes in the dark, right? I don't need to be able to watch myself tie my shoes anymore. But at a certain time, you'll watch kids start to cry and freak out when they can't do something. They haven't mastered that skill yet. So anything that's like that going on in your life where you go, well, I can't do that. Just remind yourself that each time you do something, you take a step towards mastering that. That's a victory.
Amen.
And you're building and developing a strength that you'll be able to carry with you through life. So,
Yeah. No, that's perfect. That's wonderful. I love that. That was a good example. Like, and it's so true. You know what I mean? We do need sometimes having those simple examples and those simple reminders is what we need, that we're just because we're like older, we've gone through life. Like a lot of people are like, well, I'm married, I've had kids, I know how I am, I'm not going to change. It's like, dude, no, you should be growing. You should be aware of the things. And like when something is hard for you, work through it. Challenge yourself. Let life challenge you sometimes. But if it's challenging you and your values, definitely that's awareness. And that's actually a big piece too. If you just roll with it, whether it's challenging you and your values or just challenging your ways of doing something and your habits or, your day-to-day, like, schedule, rhythm, then, that's what we're trying to talk about. And just being aware of all those things. And just, being around people that are encouraging of that and being positive to you, and supporting you, and not putting you down. We don't need people putting us down. We're our biggest critic. You know what I mean? Like we are the hardest on ourselves, on how we look, on how we dress, on even our mannerisms. I'm like the first couple times doing these videos, I'm like, oh my God, my mouth shifts. Like weird little things, but it's like, no, I need to empower myself and be like, you know what? I talk the way I talk. I am who I am, and I just want to talk to people and help people. And that's what it should matter. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have just stopped and been like, okay, I'm never doing that again. Like I look like a weirdo. You know what I mean? So I know, guys, I'm just being silly, but I'm just trying to like, have you guys embrace the good, bad, and, share with us. Like, what are you guys going through? Either as an individual, because a lot of like, I've had a lot of people reach out and they're like, I haven't even started my family yet. They don't have kids yet. That's totally okay. We're just trying to create and help empower the mindset and the families as individuals, then as a family, and then as a community. So whatever part you're in and that you want to, contribute in, do it. Somebody's going to help. Somebody needs you. Somebody wants to listen to your perspective. You are wanted. You are appreciated. You are valued. You know what I mean? And that is not just being understated, but we need you guys to share it. We want to know. Like I love, posting everything, but I would love to see people's posts and sharing what they're going through, things that they love. And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And let us congratulate it. Let us be like, dang, look at this badass person that's going through, they're a mom or they have been trying to become a mom for a really long time and they finally got pregnant. Let us congratulate that, or anything that might go through in life, having someone just be there to push you up and, hold your shoulders when you're feeling like you need to lay back because it's overwhelming, physically or, emotionally overwhelming. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty, what else? Is there any other things that you want to share when empowering our mindsets, Elizabeth?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up, and I was just thinking, we've mentioned before that Reem and I met because we both work with a company that's mission statement is to inspire healthy living around the world. And, if you guys want to have a community that supports you, you can totally find that. And we hope that this group can be that for you too. But there are lots of places, if you just are open to it and receptive and look, that you are a valuable person. Each day you cast a ripple on this world, and it's your choice how that's going to go. So be you, be beautiful, go out there, share your soul, and we appreciate all of you.
Amen. Absolutely, guys. And thank you guys so much for joining us this week again. Hopefully this time next week, we might have a third person in the view, a little person, so super, super exciting. Elizabeth, I wish you a wonderful, healthy rest of your week. Let us know how the delivery and everything goes. If you need anything from us, and guys, let us know if there's anything that we could do to help you in any way, shape, or form. We're here for you, and both Elizabeth and I are grateful that you guys have joined this group. So share it with your friends. Let's be the community that in our hearts we know that we want to be. And it takes each and every one of us contributing to make a community happen. So yeah, awesome, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.